We are not just saying, here, go do this hard project. We are right there with them. We work with them.
The faculty are there for you.
Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org.
From Rockville, Maryland, number 24, Peter Borger. The 5'10" senior from Frankfort, Illinois, number 25, Jacob Dirienzo. The 5'10" senior from Bakersfield, California, number 27, Julius Salinas. And the 5'11" senior from Fairview Heights, Illinois, number 29, Owen Trout. In goal for the Fight Engineers, the 6'4" junior from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 1, John Peterstead.
The starters for both these two teams, Rose-Hulman, they have been playing very well of late. Talked to head coach Sean Hellewell just earlier today, and he says that they feel wonderful, but they have to keep their feet on the ground, was the phrase that he used. Everything's all even now as you enter into conference play. Some teams, they refer to it as this is the season, the previous portion was the preseason. Non-conference preseason can be synonymous for these two teams, but be that as it may, the quest to win the HCAC, which Rose-Hulman did successfully a year ago, begins today, and today finds us with wonderful weather. Low 70s, feels still warm, t-shirt weather. You can throw on a jacket if you want. A little briskness in the air. There's some changing in the leaves. No real threat of rain. It did feel a little thick here with humidity, but that's cooled down quite a bit. So while we have still the natural sun setting, it feels pristine here in Terre Haute. Rose-Hulman starting with Connor Patton in the midfield, joined by Kai Moore, Caleb Urban. Caleb Urban has been an impressive player for Rose-Hulman, one of the three captains. Moore is one of the other two. The third, we'll touch about him later, Jackson Saida. He is injured and not playing tonight. Salik Ahmed, Jacob Pohl, Peter Borger, Jacob Dirizano, Julius Salinas, and Owen Trout will be the field players for Rose-Hulman. John Peterstead is the goalie as play is underway. Peterstead has been playing wonderfully. He was the Defensive Player of the Week in the HCAC this past week. It's pretty hard to find a better defensive player in the conference right now than him. As Rose-Hulman looking to apply some pressure. They've been a predominantly defensive team for the entirety of the non-conference schedule. It's as there's a cross into the box, headed high. Great look right out of the gate, and what I was about to say was just this, is that what Rose-Hulman wants to see is a balance, bring that offense up to the level their defense has been playing. Rose-Hulman's played a very tough non-conference, but they're buoyed by their last match against Ohio Northern 4 days ago. It was the first time they've ever beaten Ohio Northern, 2-1. So when you're looking at, they haven't conceded many goals, only one goal last two matches. Defense is entering today's match in a very strong place, allowing 1.63 goals per match, goal against average. Their offense they want to see elevate a little bit, and they expect it well, and we saw a threat right out of the gate by Rose-Hulman. Now, Mount St. Joseph, very patient approach. They find Omar Niang. He's joined on the starting field with Ethan Schmidt, Michael Abel, Jeremiah Valentine, Joseph Stark, Jacob Trusty, his brother Devin Trusty, Josh Budke, Killian Riley, Michael Smith, and in goal Jackson Bird. We've seen Bird already tested a little bit. That shot was wide of him, but he had to be on his toes. Bird's numbers, he's been rotating in goal with a couple other players, but Aaron Smith, the sophomore, his counterpart, has been injured. He hurt his hip about a week and a half ago, and so it is Jackson Bird's show. The sixth start of the year, sixth appearance of the year for Bird. He's allowed 12 goals. He's saved 17. His goal against average is 5, which is very high, and you would hope more opportunity on the pitch. He can bring that down. Here's a big cross in front, but a little too long of Connor Patton, who was streaking in. That was Caleb Urban on the cross, and Urban, a phenomenal player for Rose-Hulman, one of the leaders on the team, highlighted as if you could describe a Rose-Hulman fighting engineer. Number 7 in red would be the one they would highlight. 4 assists on the year, which is common for him. He's the all-time leader in Rose-Hulman history in assists. He's got 28 entering tonight, as Mount St. Joseph will put this back into play. Working along that back line, there's Michael Abel, senior from Cincinnati. A lot of players on the team from Cincinnati. There's Trusty, Devin Trusty, his twin, Jacob Trusty, on the team, and funny tidbits about them. We'll touch on it. This ball headed away by Ahmed. He got his appearance, his starting role, by virtue of an injury. Injuries have been a bit of a bugaboo for these two teams here early, still midway into the season. Towards the end of September, wrapping up non-conference, all done. Now the conference race proceeds. Here's Cole. The mustachio defenseman passes it up. Nice move by Borger, trying to find some room, and here's the dangerous Caleb Urban. Snakes it right through on the back end of the cross. Just rolled wide. Great look, though. Well timed between Urban and Patton. Both seniors, Urban a fifth-year senior, and he will have the cross. Check this out again. Well timed by Patton. You can't time that any better. That is what you have years of playing together. It's 128 combined games between those two. And they just have that timing down perfectly as that ball harmlessly trickles away. It'll be a goal kick for Bird. Big test today for Mount St. Joseph. Currently at the bottom of the HCAC, although the conference games just began. But historically speaking, between these two teams, it has been almost all Rose-Hulman for the entirety they've played each other. This is the 20th meeting tonight between these two schools. They work the ball around. Rose-Hulman does to Ahmed. And the very first year was in 2006. Mount St. Joseph won that match 1-0 in Cincinnati. And then Rose-Hulman has won the subsequent 18, all in a row. Rose-Hulman has not allowed Mount St. Joseph. They've not conceded more than 1 goal in a match against Mount St. Joseph. The most they've ever scored was 1 in a game.
Can we step together?
Trying to wiggle their way through. Gadzir had a couple of good reads on. It'll be a throw in for Mount St. Joseph.
Ball goes one side, we all start shifting, okay?
Rose-Hulman has won 12 of those 18 by shutout, some by some big margins. Last year, Rose-Hulman won 4-0. And Rose-Hulman is 9-0 at home against the Lions of Mount St. Joseph. So the weight of history against the visitors in yellow, but you never know. Today's a new day. Soccer can be crazy. Last year saw 4 Mount St. Joseph Lions get yellow cards in it, including head coach Rudy Arguerta, Jacob Trusty, Luis Martin Valdez, Logan Westerbeck. Played along the back. Cole. Ahmed. Dirienzo, Trusty intercepts the pass, drops it back. Easy for Stark. And we'll see if Mount St. Joseph can formulate an attack here. They have to work it through that very dense and tough Rose-Hulman midfield. Long pack by Trusty, trying to get it to his brother. That's just headed out of play by Borger. It'll be a throw in for Mount St. Joseph. That was a little just high of Niang and nudges it on. Killian Riley gives pursuit. It rolls away from him. And it was last touch by Rose-Hulman, so a corner kick opportunity for Mount St. Joseph. Their first. One apiece now between these two sides. Joseph Stark drives his foot into the ball. Gets a lot of air under it. Niang couldn't bring it down. Niang's got another shot at it, but plucked away by Biederstedt. John Biederstedt again. He's the current HCAC Defensive Player of the Week. And you can kind of see exactly why on that play. Just skied and plucked it away, the junior from Indianapolis. Long range pass. Here's Urban on the other end of it. This is a little poked away from him by Abel. Because that would have been a very dangerous spot for Mount St. Joseph. If Urban could have got the ball inside the 16. Gadzir crosses. Defended away by Abel. Regathered by Salinas. Looking for a cross. Slides it in front. Urban takes a crack at it. It was deflected and into the palms of Jackson Bird. Good ball movement by Rose-Hulman. Good job by Bird to read it. And now Mount St. Joseph chance to regather here 10 minutes into this match.
Hey, can we shift early? Kellyanne, can we find you? Kellyanne, can we find you?
Abel. Back to Abel. Mount St. Joseph trying to take their time looking for the right point to exploit in the Rose-Hulman defense. Michael Smith fed it up high, looking for Budke. And trickled away, throw in for Rose-Hulman. 3 matches are final today in the HCAC. Upset already. Bluffton beat Transylvania 3-1. Hanover did what they're expected to, 4-0 over Earlham. Franklin beat Anderson 4-1. Anderson came in very promising start. That bounds to Biederstedt. And he comes up with a bullet to Urban. And he was swarmed by Mount St. Joseph Lions. Whole pride of them with Jacob Trusty. One of the leaders in that, just trying to win the midfield. And here Mount St. Joseph slows it down. Schmidt. Give it over at midfield. Salinas. Gadzir. Kadzier again. Salinas. They got room out wide, and they eventually find Borger. Urban. Nice little move. Cleared out of space. A bit of a basketball-type box out. And a rocket in the back of the net by Patton. 1-0 Rose-Hulman. Third goal of the year for Patton.
Assisted by number 7, Caleb Urban.
The great ball movement by Rose-Hulman draws first blood.
Every time. Come on, fix it.
12th minute, Connor Patton. We saw that earlier in this match where they were trying to set that up, that exact play. Urban across, Patton on the far side. Makes the long late run. That first time he pushed it a little wide. This time, perfect. And so 1-0. Rose-Hulman, and Valentine works along that far side. Look how far pressed up Rose-Hulman's defense is. Kadzier out wide. The cross, well wide. Trying to chase it to Urban. For Urban, that is now extending his record. 29 now assists on his career. 28. 29 for his career. 5 on the season. The next most is about 6 other players with 1. So Urban, the primary quarterback of this team. Kadzier working through the Lion defense and bends it in. Two nothing. That was a pretty one.
Number 12, Chase.
Look at this. Look at the bend right at the end. Almost like a slider in a baseball where it started out wide, hooked it right in. Tough to defend if you're Jackson Bird. So 1 minute's time, 2 goals for Rose-Hulman. And they're looking for more. Kadzier. Urban sets up well. This time coming off the line, making the grab is Bird. Well defended by Jackson. This will give Mount St. Joseph some room to breathe after the quick strike by Patton and Kadzier. 1 minute separating those 2 goals. Patton. Left back to Ahmed. Stuck in the midfield. Nice job taking it right away by Michael Abel, one of the captains for Mount St. Joseph. They've had a hard time getting up the sideline. Killian Riley. It'll be a throw-in for Mount St. Joseph. A lot of speed along that back line by Rose-Hulman. And right now, Lions taking their time with it, which steady, smart move. You just want to be able to set up the right play off this long throw in. Jacob Trusty, the junior from Cincinnati, will have the honors of those peak shoes of his. Just off screen. You can see him. Long throw by Trusty. Punched out by Dirienzeno. And this will be a goal kick for Rose-Hulman. So an opportunity there. Comes up empty for Mount St. Joseph. A goal kick for Biederstedt. Goal against average 1.67 this year. For his career, it's 0.97. You got under 1. It's a wonderful, wonderful number to post. And 25 saves so far this year. He's allowed 10 goals. through 6 games. And it'll be a free kick for Rose-Hulman as they're trying to nudge it ahead a few spaces, but Jacob Pohl will take over, the junior transfer from Butler, originally from Avon, second year with the Fighting Engineers. Niang. Budke. Not able to get that ball up to Abel, who is pressing up. Abel's been playing all around the field for Mount St. Joseph this year. Urban showing a lot of speed. He battling with Trusty. Nice tackle by Trusty. Devin Trusty. Rose-Hulman wasting no time. Borger. Fended off by Jacob Trusty. Throw in. And everything's got to reset for Rose-Hulman. Sophomore from Rockville, Maryland. Borger fed that in looking for Urban, the 5th-year senior from Martinsville, Indiana. That's a very national lineup by Rose-Hulman. They've got starters from Ohio, Indiana, a couple from Indiana, Illinois, Maryland, California. Players from as far away as Florida, California, Hawaii, all over. And a little rushed there by Michael Smith. He'll have another crack at that one. Look at where these two teams rank in the HCAC so far. This was before the goals from around the conference tonight and this game. But Rose-Hulman entered with the 5th highest scoring offense in the conference. Snuck in by Stark. Brought down. Here's Salinas. Trout. Turned it right over. Schmidt takes a long one, and Biederstedt had a read on that. Rose-Hulman had scored 12 goals entering tonight, and they would say have been playing a very tough non-conference schedule. Had to be on the defensive a ton. But they are 15 goals behind entering tonight behind top scoring Anderson, but Anderson got smoked today by Franklin. The Fighting Engineers are also 5th in the conference in goals allowed, but that number a little misleading. They're one behind Transylvania and Earlham, who were both had allowed 12, so very close to each other. Urban tracks it down, feeds it in front, and read perfectly by Jackson Bird. For Mount St. Joseph's part, they entered tied for 6th in the conference with 9 goals entering tonight with Transylvania. They were 10th. 25 goals allowed, now 27. Defensively, that's 3 more than Bluffton has, who is 9th. Also, recent history, Rose-Hulman, they entered this season, they entered conference play in great shape. They were first in the HCAC a year ago. They lost to Hanover on penalty kicks in the HCAC final, and that's one of the teams that they definitely have been monitoring during this preseason. Since October 19, 2019, Rose-Hulman is 30-0-2 in regular season conference play. This weaves in front, kind of whiffed. Urban had it for a moment, but trusty Devin fended it off. Salinas. Borger. Cross the pitch. The most briskly struck, but it gets to Dirizeno. It's just sent, let go by Bird. It'll be a goal kick. But think about that. They've played since mid-October 2019. Rose-Hulman has played 32 matches in conference, and they've either won them all or tied, and they've tied 2 of them. Their last in-conference regular season-wise loss was at Hanover on October 16, 2019. Kedzier didn't really have much on that one. Now St. Joseph trying to play this out. And off the chest of Niang. The Rose-Hulman lost that match 2-1. And since then, they were like, well, never again. So they're going to have a free kick, Rose-Hulman will. That'll be Urban taking it. One of the leaders of the program, just big competitor, Urban. Invaluable leadership for the team. Didn't carry that one enough. Played a little shorter than he probably wanted. Tracked down by Borger, and he's going to play it all the way back to Biederstedt. Come on. Biederstedt. Off the forearm of Stark. Kept it nice and tight, avoiding the handball. Salinas. Borger. Nice passing. Salinas. He's got Kedzier out wide. Oh, and a misplay by Kedzier. And Trusty just letting that go. 23.5 minutes remaining in first half. Rose-Hulman has struck twice. 2-0 the score. Connor Patton off of a really slick pass by Caleb Urban in the 12th minute, and then Chase Kedzier all by himself, the freshman from Wheaton, Illinois, in the 13th. Rose-Hulman has outshot Mount St. Joseph 6-1. Shots on goal 3-1. Corner kicks are even at 3. 2 fouls apiece. 1 save apiece between the two sides. And Devin Trusty boxing out. Boxing out the Rose-Hulman player. Trout. Joseph Stark. Long ball looking for Niang. Didn't get it clean. Urban just brings it down, plucks it with his foot. A couple players collide. They race on Salinas. Kedzier out wide. Urban's in the middle. It's well spaced. Here's Urban. Body in the box. Checks it back and cleaned out by Stark. It'll be a throw in for Rose-Hulman. Now St. Joseph looking to slide a player in. See if they'll, looks like they'll play this first. Urban. Kedzier. Just kind of rolled it, didn't really strike it clean, but it was off of a Mount St. Joseph Lion. So it'll be a corner kick opportunity again for Rose-Hulman. In front, headed high, and just wide. Oh, it was there. Salik Ahmed, the junior. Like he had a good read on it, and you can see he had the hands on the back of his head. Just the international sign of a near miss. Budke out. Andre Wright, the freshman from Nashville, Tennessee, is subbed in from Mount St. Joseph. Stark trying to carry to this one, not able to do so. Backed out by Kedzier. Troop. Trusty deflected off of Stark. Kedzier. Trying to race through, weaving, dig outside, and slid right back out by Urban. Just a jittery run. Hard to contain. Chase Kedzier Made his 9th start today. Got his first career goal earlier in this match. Then in that 13th minute, he's got an assist on the season. Glancing blow by Borger. That'll be another corner kick for Rose-Hulman. Their third of the match, as we're now just 20 minutes left here in half number 1. Thanks for joining us here today. It's a pleasure to have you. Broadcast live from Terre Haute. Was nudged down by Niang. Almost do a high kick to keep it from finding a Rose-Hulman fighting engineer. Here is Borger. Pole. Brought down. Patton. The grounder was claimed by Bird.
Jeremiah, we gotta be behind him, right? Andre. Thank you.
Abel. Again, that ball ends up finding Rose-Hulman. Aggressive on those long passes. Salinas, Patton. Has played off of Andre Wright by a fellow Lion. Urban sends it wide and not able to reclaim it was Connor Patton. So it'll be another substitution break. Out will go Omar Niang and will go Jesus Salinas. Sophomore from Fairfield, Ohio. Normally wears number 8, wearing 16 today. Doubled up. Bird. Patton. Range all the way back to midfield, trying to keep it in play. Poked away by Trout. Rolls towards the lawn chairs. And you really can't beat what we are able to enjoy out here today. It just, if you had a bonfire, it'd feel good. If you're just watching sport, you just kick that ball into the forest. That's never going to be found.
Hey, fellas.
In
Hey, Jack.
centuries from now, they're going to unearth that in like the mud bank.
Right? Hey, come on.
There's a brave soul going after it. It's just an interesting setup, I guess. They have fencing on both ends, which makes sense, but you can set it into the Everglades if you go off to the side. There was a brave woman who went to go try to find it. She went beyond the first tree, went and returned empty-handed. It might be like a Major League Baseball game where if you just it's a souvenir for the trees or the squirrels or the loose elephants that just wander campus. Oh, Patton's got a good look at this one, but read perfectly by Jackson Bird. Closed off that lower corner. Saw the whole play. Nicely done.
Open up!
16:40 to go. Several subs getting ready to come in for Rose-Hulman as Bird looks to direct traffic.
27. True.
The sound you're hearing in the background, the little wishing sound, that is the drinking fountain spray thing that is right in front of our crowd mic or the external mic. Salinas got a good read, punched away, chipped in front, still in play, and then hoifted out by Mount St. Joseph. They had to scramble there a little bit. They're able to cover up for it, and now here comes in a whole new army of fighting engineers. And almost a lineup change. 6 new players. Now to the 11. Urban getting a break. Trout getting a break. Kedzier, well-deserved. Patton, well-deserved. I mean, everybody coming out has played a phenomenal first half. Kai Moore. Julius Salinas. See how the fresh legs do over the final 15 minutes of this first half as Rose-Hulman looks to continue, build upon that very impressive undefeated streak in conference play with the first game of the year in conference. Mentioned in the opening, but they came off a 2-1 victory against Ohio Northern, a 3-0 victory over Milliken. One draw in the year, that was against Wabash. The Little Giants back on September 6th. If you're looking at Central Indiana rivals, they beat DePaul. They drew Wabash on the 6th, beat DePaul on the 13th. And they'll play more Indiana schools in conference coming up. Next match is at Earlham. And they go to Anderson. Go to Franklin in mid-October. From the outside, that one just poked away a little bit. Trusty fended it off, and it'll be, I think, a throw. It'll be a free kick, I think, for Mount St. Joseph. I thought a throw, and I think this could be a free kick instead. Playing the long ball, working towards the midfield. Checked down by Salinas. Trying to reverse field right into the middle of it. Here's Tyler Eldridge. Eldridge was a thorn in Mount St. Joseph's side a year ago. He scored twice, had 2 assists in that matchup, that 4-0 victory by Rose-Hulman. Here's Eldridge from distance, and there's that net we talked about.
Hey, can we find feet, please?
I mean, if that net wasn't there, think about how far that ball went to the woods. If that net wasn't there, oh, it'd be still rolling. There's a really nice, the football complex is very fancy. It's very sharp looking, and it is way down that way towards the goal they were just at. And that's where that ball would have ended up. It would have gone through the field, over the river, past the tennis courts, to the football field. And here's a good story. Elijah Harderson, a junior from North Aurora, Illinois, wears number 22 in red. He was a starter a year ago, but was injured, and this is his first game back after a while, and someone that Coach Hellowell is very excited to see onto the field. You want to see those guys that work really hard, come back from injury, or work hard in practice, don't get the opportunities, and he's getting his back onto the field. Elijah Harderson, 28th appearance of his career for Rose-Hulman, back onto the field after injury. And here comes the free kick for Rose-Hulman with just over 12 minutes to go. Little chip shot. They're trying to get it set up for a header, maybe to Eldridge. It'll be a corner kick and a long run over by Gabe Kruer, junior from New Albany, Indiana. And you'll have the cross on this set piece. 4th of the first half by Rose-Hulman. Punched down by a Trusty. Controlled by Stark. Mount St. Joseph trying to work it out of the back line here. A little cross up between Lions, and it'll be a throw in for Rose-Hulman. 11:20 to go here, first half. Schwartz. Hall. In front, Eldridge. Sticks with it. Now more in a passing position. It was deflected and rolled back to Oliver Fila, a freshman from New Rochelle, New York. Cross hung low. Kruer was asking for it on the far post. Turning and firing is Harderson. Punched high by Stark. It's going to come still back into play. Mount St. Joseph not out of the danger zone yet until that was skied by Matthew Schwartz, the sophomore from Oak Park, California. 10:30 to go in the first half. Stark. Little errant pass, trying to get it to Jacob Trusty. That was last touch by Stark. No, it was not. His last touch by Rose-Hulman. The entire Rose-Hulman bench was begging for it to be their ball. Whipped by Killian Riley. Brought down by Schwartz. Boxed out by Devin Trusty. And a foul called against Rose-Hulman. Devin Trusty pumped up for the ruling. I don't think the bench for Rose-Hulman felt as excited. As we're inside 10 minutes to play here in half number 1. 2 scores in. Connor Patton in the 12th. Chase Kadzier in the 13th. Hall. Kruger. Trying to do a give and go. Didn't exactly work out for him. Trusty. Smith. Bids back to another Trusty. Salinas kind of allayed the ball and tried to catch back up to it, but it rolls over to Eldridge. Sized up by Hall. Fila. A shot and a goal. Nicely done again. 3-0 Rose-Hulman. Matthew Schwartz, second of the year.
Look over number 21, Matthew Schwartz.
Long setup,
This
and
is
then
number
Matthew
32,
Schwartz.
Oliver
Great angle.
Dilla.
3-0. 9:12 to go. Temporarily frozen to the ball. Gets put back in play. And a first half that's gone about as well as Rose-Hulman could hope for. Valentine's been subbed out for Mount St. Joseph. Smith feeds it on. Nine minutes to play, first half. And it's tough for your Mount St. Joseph. Rose-Hulman, with their firepower today, they've outshot Mount St. Joseph 15-1. Shots on goal 7-1. Rose-Hulman has dominated on ball. They've been pressing the advantage, making Mount St. Joseph defend. And that's tough sledding if you're the Lions. You're trying to want to be able to make the other team's defense have to work, and that has not been the case. Headed high by Hall. Vila. Right. Taken away by Eldridge. Rose-Hulman looking for a fourth here in the first half. They have 8 more minutes. Borger. And Trusty takes a tumble as that ball rolls away.
Can we just stop kicking the ball, please? We find feet and we get an idea. Come on.
Stark feeds it in. Salinas. Devin Trusty. Trying to get to right, but it was intercepted. Now here's Eldridge. He's got men with him. Eldridge trying to get that fourth one by himself. He scored twice a year ago. Hardison crossed in front, and there was lurking. It was Matthew Schwartz, who just scored a few minutes ago in the 36th minute. Trusty. This has been the tricky spot for Mount St. Joseph. Can they get out of their own midfield? Can they get the ball moving forward? They haven't been able to do so. At least not yet. Or it's been a while, rather. Ball played back. And taken away. And here's Rose-Hulman with pace. Still alive and rolled home by Kruger. 4-0. Gabe Kruger, second goal of the year.
Look over number 2, Gabe Kruger. This is for number 8, Tyler Eldridge.
Yeah, Mount St. Joseph found themselves in a bad spot if the goalie touches it, but isn't able to either possess the ball, comes off his hands, it could be trouble. It was there. Gabe Kruger. A 4-goal first half by Rose-Hulman. They entered tonight having scored 12. So that's a hefty improvement. There's been some high scores so far around the conference tonight. I mentioned 4 is a pretty common number. Hanover scored 4 on Earlham. Franklin scored 4 on Anderson. And that Rose-Hulman defense snuffs out any chance for Mount St. Joseph this time. See if they can regather it. Salinas is a very hard touch. Hall brings it down for Rose-Hulman. Inside 6 minutes to play. Could it be 5? Eldridge. He had Kruger running wide down the far side. Have been a tough pass. There were a lot of defenders in the way. And Jackson Bird will field that one. They like Jackson Bird in goal. He brings a lot of positive energy. Brings some levity to stressful situations. And this one just a tough spot where he's constantly under duress. And here's a shot by Eldridge. Punched away, but it still stays in front. Trusty was letting it come to him. Eventually able to pounce on it. Stark. And trip up from behind. That'll be a free kick for Mount St. Joseph. A little too aggressive from Jacob Pohl. As Killian Riley, the leading goal scorer for Mount St. Joseph, 4 goals this year for the freshman from Cincinnati. Haven't been able to get it to him too much. Tough bounce off that AstroTurf as it bounded over Stark. Throw in for Rose-Hulman. Schwartz. 4:30 to go, first half. And it's already a big crooked number in this first half by the Fighting Engineers. Ahmad. Ahmad pops up. Free kick for Rose-Hulman. Pohl put back in play. Salinas. A little back tap by Abel, but he wasn't able to get the ball clean. Here's Fila. Olays a lion. Eldridge checks it back. Oh, down in the box. And the referee waves it off. Jimmy Hall is trying to draw the contact, and he went down right almost where the penalty shot would be at. Hall might have another shot at this one. Does not. Repelled for the moment by Mount St. Joseph. Here comes the onslaught by Rose-Hulman again. Hall is still trying to hunt for the ball, and this one again, a towering shot into the trees. So 3 minutes and change to go. Headed high and claimed by Bird. Trusty. Nice pass up to Abel, but he was beat to the ball by Borger. Rose-Hulman defense haven't been too tested, but they've been able to regather, get back on defense very well, even though they've almost all of them, all 4 of them have been up helping the offense. Schwartz. Eldridge. He collided with Trusty. And it'll be a throw-in for Rose-Hulman. 2:20 to go. We are clicking closer to halftime and chance to regroup for Mount St. Joseph. And I think that for Rose-Hulman, they're going to be looking at how can we keep this pressure up is what they would be saying. A lot of these coaches, when you're in a situation like this, big score for one side, you just don't want to see sometimes those teams, they can let up some, and for the Rose-Hulman perspective, they don't want to see any lapse at all. As another corner kick for the Fighting Engineers, their 5th. Kruger will take it. 1:40 to go. .90 seconds to play. Nice one by Crewer. And not able to get his head on it was Harderson. So late sub coming in for Mount St. Joseph. Brennan Sanders. I'll give the relief to Ethan Schmidt. And we're coming close to the minute mark.
1 minute remaining.
See? Told you. Rose-Hulman looking to apply rub some salt into the wound here. Final 40 seconds. Eldridge. And it's just Rose-Hulman, they've looked so poised, so confident, so fast here in this first half. Eldridge just behind Hall. Cleaned up by Fila. Nice move by Fila. And off the crossbar by Fila. And I think Ben Wood, our producer, is going to have this one on replay for a month.
Oh my goodness.
10.
Can't get any closer than this.
8.
Countdown
7,
goes on the backwards,
6.
on the background,
5,
but look at this.
4. 3.
That's how close Rose-Hulman
2,
comes
1.
to 5-0. But be that as it may, it's 4-0 at halftime for Rose-Hulman. Could not have gone better for the Fighting Engineers. 12th minute goal by Connor Patton, 13th by Chase Kadzier, 36th by Matthew Schwartz, and 39th by Gabe Crewer. And we're going to go take a halftime breather like everyone else on the field. We'll have more for you as the second half looms on RHIT.TV, powered by IndianaSRN.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
That's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Manny made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
Since we're doing things so quickly, a lot of times we know that we need help. So our professors all know us by name.
Basically, everybody knows everybody here.
That one-on-one personal connection you're getting with the faculty, you don't get that a lot of places.
We are not just saying, here, go do this hard project. We are right there with them. We work with them.
The faculty are there for you.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at askrose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at askrose.org.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
It's about being your best, but knowing you can be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
Sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Good to see you there, folks. Second half about to begin. Some first half numbers for you. The main one is a score, 4-0. Rose-Hulman, dominant first half by the Fighting Engineers. Just outstanding by them all around. They outshot Mount St. Joseph 19-1. They outshot them on target 10-1. There were 6 saves made by Jackson Bird, which is pretty good. Problem is he just was under duress the entirety of the time. There were 5-1 corner kick advantage for Rose-Hulman. Rose had the one offsides of the two teams, and then the possession total, 62% Rose-Hulman, 38% for Mount St. Joseph, 0% undecided between those, but which actually seems just a little low. Rose-Hulman was just such an overwhelming presence in that first half. The goal scorers, I've mentioned them a few times in the first half, but always good to highlight the goal scorers. Connor Patton in the 12th minute, Chase Kadzir in the 13th, Matthew Schwartz in the 36th, and Gabe Kruer in the 39th. And Rose trying to defend this Mount Vernon not Mount Vernon, Mount St. Joseph. We'll see what the Lions have in store for the second half, what energy they come out with. They're able to claw back into this. Again, Mount St. Joseph has never scored more than 1 goal in a match against Rose-Hulman, so that would be just a silver lining type accomplishment if the Lions are able to put a couple across. This fed off by Poole. And a little hard touch on the far side, and Mount St. Joseph able to regather. Not able to find it. Checked back by Kai Moore. Kai Moore, one of the captains for for Rose-Hulman, very humble, steady, dependable, consistent. All the things you want to have in a holding mid. Be overlooked a little bit, but just an essential component of this Rose-Hulman side. It'll be a throw in for Mount St. Joseph. Waiting for the throw in from Jacob Trusty. Punched out. Trusty. Check down. Nice hand or foot-eye coordination by Chase Kadzir. Able to occupy that passing lane. Here's the long toss. Towards goal, and beater step. Easy read for him. Saw that the whole way. And we mentioned the Trusties. There's 2 of them. Twin brothers for Mount St. Joseph. And they like to, especially in the preseason, everyone's trying to get to know each other. They like to play some games. They are identical twins. Be a throw in for Mount St. Joe or for Rose-Hulman. And sometimes they'll trade out their jerseys, don't tell anybody, and they're so identical that no one can tell the difference. It's almost like Parent Trap type deal. Headed high and outside by Patton. Eric Slavey will sub in for Mount St. Joseph. The Trusty brothers. Regarded by their teammates, they always show up ahead of time. They're not just on time for everything. They're ahead of time. They're tough. Their intensity is contagious among these lines. Shouldered on by Urban. Brought down by Salinas. Oh, nice move by Salinas. Truitt. Salinas. It's been his possession. Truitt. Not able to control it. Rolls back to Dirienzo. Brought down by Urban, but he's offside. Headed on by Patton. Another good possession shaping up for Rose-Hulman Kadzir. Urban attacking, accelerating from the wing, works it inside. It's a knuckler, and it's just beyond the net. From some angles, it looked like it went in, but it was one of those optical illusions. It'll be a corner kick for Rose-Hulman, and it'll be taken by Caleb Urban. Seventh corner kick, or 6th corner kick of the day. Punched out by Patton. A little slow on the pickup by Salinas. He fed all the way back to Bieterstedt. You know, so far today we've seen 4 different goal scorers for Rose-Hulman, and that's kind of where they're at as a team. They don't have a singular standout goal scorer. got a balanced effort, as John Hellewell described it, is that we've got players who can score, forwards, midfielders, that all can do it. But it's going to be a score by committee type approach. A lot of potential. He likes it. And he doesn't care who does the scoring. It's just, as long as it goes in the back of the net, he's fine with it. And you would have to believe that Rose-Hulman feels likewise. Truitt. DiIII. Patton. Truitt bumped off the ball. Trusty. That one's played out wide by Abel. Long run. Is he going to get there? Not even. Close. By Andre Wright. Long ball looking for Urban, but it was just outside. It'll be a throw in for Mount St. Joseph. 38 minutes to play, basically, and change. A nice evening here. The very beginning of Heartland play. It's crazy how quick the soccer season goes when it starts, especially here in D3, where the first match was early September. The last regular season match for these two teams will be October 25th. Cram a lot into a very short amount of time. And we're halfway through the year, just 8 games left for these two teams after today. Try and tie him up by Kedzier, and he's got help, and he's got a bead, and he's got a shot, and it's just wide of Urban. Urban able to save it. Everyone trying to get back on side. The cross headed high by Truitt. Throw in for Mount St. Joseph. You can even hear just the intensity of that run after that ball, just trying to, the defender, DiIII trying to time it up to make sure he can win it. He takes a shot, and claimed by the goalie. Now Derek Rolfs in the game for Mount St. Joseph. Trusty. Salinas. Nice ball. Slavey trying to time it up. And not able to do so. It'll be a goal kick for Rose-Hulman. As we tick closer, we've seen some life out of Mount St. Joseph, but Rose-Hulman, that lead entering this half, so big. Patton just able to keep that into play. It'd be amazing, the footwork along the sideline by Patton. Make sure you keep that ball alive. Heads it on to Borger. Long pass to Urban. Urban has shown great speed, great pace, as they like to say. Can accelerate so suddenly. Be another throw in for the Fighting Engineers by the bye. Rose-Hulman will be on the road as it looked like some precipitation beginning to fall. A little light sprinkle. Looks quite majestic, almost like snow. Headed high and just over the bar by Truitt. So some light rain falling, and don't worry about us. We are covered. Worry about the stat guys, though. As Bird will put this ball back into play. in due time. We're saying upcoming schedules for the two teams. Rose-Hulman will go to Earlham on the 30th. And then go to Anderson after that for another respite at home. They'll come and play Defiance on October 7th. Trusty. Sent out, and it'll be a corner kick opportunity for Mount St. Joseph. First one of these they've had in some time, and see if they can capitalize on it.
It's a throw.
Or it's a throw-in, rather. Almost from corner kick position. Punched out, in front, not able to drive it was Smith. Kazir. He continues to, as Rose-Hulman does, possess the ball. Out wide. Cole trying to feed it on, but a little bit of a glancing blow. Mount St. Joseph. The problem, I mean, this has been game long for them, is they haven't been able to control the midfield. The midfield has been dominated by Rose-Hulman. Let alone their own defensive end, they've barely been tested. But as soon as Mount St. Joseph been trying to get it into the midfield, they haven't been able to keep possessing the ball. Rose-Hulman just taking it away from them. And when you're playing a team like the Fighting Engineers, it can be impossible. Ahmad. It'll be a throw-in for the Lions. Mount St. Joseph will go home for a set of 3 beginning on Sunday. Beginning on Saturday. I get my weekend days correct. They will host Franklin on the 30th, then they will host Lufton and Earlham to begin October. Urban, a long run into the rain, a big cross. Patton, nice save. It looked pretty. Headed on, aggressive play by DiRienzo. And then reclaimed by Aaron Smith, the new goalie, sophomore. It's serious, and he's coming off of banged up his hip a week and a half ago, and he's out there playing now. Sanders. Nestled down by Ahmed. One back by Smith. Looking for help, finds Trusty. Rolfs. A little bit of a misplay. Looking for a handball, not getting it. Sanders comes away with it for the moment. Abel. A little too far in front of Slavey. And it's another one as easy pickings for John Biederstedt, the reigning HCAC Defensive Player of the Week. And way offline to just punch that one in along the woods was Smith. Heads up play. So if you want to see that as a goalie, just take the matters into your own hands. Don't let the offense dictate everything. It'll be a corner kick for Rose-Hulman. Headed on and saved right to the chest of Smith. That was one of those set pieces that the goalie just sees the entire way. And coming down a little more steady now as Salinas rolls it towards Urban. Looks outside. Salinas gives. Punched away by Smith. Kadzier gives away. Trute. This is dangerous living if you're Mount St. Joseph, just stuck in your own 16. Trusty up ahead. Good pursuit there by Slavey, just not able to get there as Peterstedt had that all cut off. Urban. And you can see with it, they really like him. He makes so much happen when the ball's at his feet. Patton might have to play this one out. Comes DiIenzo. Nah, a little long, but that point on Urban. Caleb Urban, not only the all-time assist leader for Rose-Hulman, but he can make so much happen. They get him the ball, and he makes sharp, quick decisions, decisive decisions, right decisions. And Smith waits to put it back in play. And then he can make plays happen, too. He's not just one that will sit back there and let things happen, but he'll press the initiative. Rolf. Mahmoud Fall into the game for Mount St. Joseph for the very first time as Smith gets the ball. It's 37 in yellow, his first game for the Lions. Muhammad Fall. Eventually able to force it out, but Salinas brings it down midfield. Rolf not able to cover. Froze up as Salinas was bringing the ball over to him. And now DiIenzo. Kadzier. Paul. They work it on the outside. Feeds it in, little touch. Ball. Plays that back. It's sent all the way back out and regathered by DiIenzo and Terre Haute. And just a majestic scene a bit ago. A little bit more challenging now. And Urban tried to find his way in, but it'll be a corner kick for Rose-Hulman. And if you're looking at a team that Rose-Hulman, they finished first a year ago, and you just want to have a statement game to begin your 2023 season. And this has been it for Rose-Hulman. They're laid down the gauntlet so far against Mount St. Joseph. Kadzier. Long, and just too long to Patton. By the way, something I like to do just for kicks and giggles as we have subs getting ready to come in. I always like to look at what happened on this date, you know, take advantage of these. This isn't the only September 27th there's ever been. And what else has happened on September 27th? So wholesale changes. AJ Sparks will come in at goal, and a lot for Rose-Hulman too. But I learned this one. I bet you our producer Ben Wood probably knew these, but we'll see. I had to look it up. But in 1777, on September 27th, you know what happened on that date? Well, I didn't either until I looked up beforehand. I didn't have this encyclopedic knowledge prior to today. But for one day and one day only, the U.S. capital was Lancaster, Pennsylvania. On this date in 1777, as Rose-Hulman looking to add to their lead, sent back to midfield. What happened was the Congress. If you remember, back in the good old 1770s, there's this little thing called the Revolutionary War going on. And the Congress had to bail on Philadelphia. And so where did they go for the time being? Temporary spot, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So there you go. Lancaster, Pennsylvania's day in the sun was as the nation's capital. September 27th, 1777. Then in 1822, now this one I thought was interesting because I thought this happened way later. I thought this was more recent, but I was wrong. It was on this date in 1822, a fellow by the name of Jean-Francois Champollion. He was French. He went to the academy for, I think, Holland or France, one of the two, whatever. He went someplace and formally announced that he had deciphered the Rosetta Stone. That was on this date in 1822. Now, I thought it was more like in the early 1900s, but I was way off. I was off by multiple decades. Smith plays it back around the Bengo, Mount St. Joseph. This is smart. And in any situation, sometimes you'll see, you might wonder, like, hey, why are they working along the back line? And it's because it lets you be able to reverse field, make the defense have to shift, because the defense are on the whole midfield have to move from side to side. It gives you opportunities, but Rose-Hulman all over that one as Peter Berger plays it up along the far side. Here's the ball into the box. Trickles away. Another corner kick for Rose-Hulman. Kept low. Those low, pacey entry balls on corner kicks can be very advantageous for headers. Brought down Eldridge. The follow-up is good by Poole. Let's see, there's a little bit of confusion. Was he onside? They're moving to midfield. Looks like it'll stand. And if it does, 5-0 Rose-Hulman off the set piece. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That was Jacob Poole. That's his first goal of the year. Second of his career.
Nate, they were asking for a trainer.
Rolf. So 5 big ones by Rose-Hulman. They have put 5 up on Mount St. Joseph in the past. The Lions trying for their first goal, but the Fine Engineers.
The last goal was by number 15, Jacob Poole, and assisted by number 8, Tyler Eldridge.
By the way, speaking of engineers, this one's right up Rose-Hulman's alley. On this date, in 1908, I'm going to take a shot at this one. It involved engineering in some capacity. The guess was, can they hear you? No, they cannot. He guessed slice of bread was invented. That is completely wrong. But what would have been correct if he said it was that the Model Ts began being production in Detroit at the Ford Peak Avenue plant. That's a big deal. Ball. Was dealt with by Rose-Hulman. Ahmad has been very impressive coming on in relief. Aiden Creek tore his ACL in the 3rd match of the year, and they had to look for someone to come on, and it was Salik Ahmed. And he gets a breather and comes out. Quincy Perry, senior from Elm Grove, Wisconsin, subs in, but Ahmad, who has been a very reliable contributor for Rose-Hulman, had to come on in injury relief, and one of those surprises, an underclassman who had to step up big and did so with a plum. Not an actual plum, but with a gusto. Sanchez Romero. Almost giveaway. Eldridge. Oh, this could be a 2-on-1. Eldridge with pace. Eldridge gets it almost by A.J. Sparks. We'll spend it off for another corner kick for Rose-Hulman. Inside 20 minutes to go. And a corner kick for Rose-Hulman, their 10th. I was off. Their 10th of the night. 10-1 in corner kick advantage. Kept low, a little skeeter, and it popped around, kind of ping-ponged back and forth. It'll be another corner kick, so that's number 11 now. Thanks for joining us, by the way, on a now rainy Terre Haute on RHIT.TV. Happy to bring this to you, powered by IndianaSRN. This header back out. Brought down by Kruer. DiRienzo sends us beyond the road. It'll be Mount St. Joseph with a throw-in. Here's another engineering-ish related historical date. 1956. This one's too tough. I'm not even going to make you try to guess it. Producer Ben Wood. You can guess at home, though. Maybe you know this one. Maybe you're just really good at your aviation speed landmarks. But Milburn Apt in a plane called the Bell X2. Close. Producer Ben Wood guessed broke the sound barrier. It was close. He went Mach 3. Now, that was impressive. But right afterwards, the plane went out of control and crashed. And poor Milburn Apt was also died. But he still hit Mach 3, so he broke the sound barrier. Those test pilots, it's not easy. Headed down, checked down by Salinas. It's going to roll on through.
I like the idea. Control if you have time, though, right?
And it's going to be a corner kick for Mount St. Joseph. Served up, headed out. Controlled down by Rose-Hulman, at least for the moment, right in the thick of things. Battling with Sanders for Mount St. Joseph. Also in the teeth of his Dean Monroe. And played along the back line of the defense. Oh, that was a tough one. Springing on the ball was Fall. Mohamed Fall, olayed by Salinas. Here's Rolf. It's under 17 minutes to go.
Good, Dean.
Put out by Peter Borger. And a whistle, free kick for Rose-Hulman. About to come into the game is senior Peter Jacobs from Salt Lake City. Waiting for his moment.
Derek, tuck in. Move, 22. Let's go inside. In the air.
Headed on by Eldridge. Working along that far sideline. Be a throw in for Mount St. Joseph. Just under 16 minutes to play. I got one more date for you, producer Ben Wood. I have a couple of birthdays too. This one you might get. It was from 1998, and it was, if you've used the internet today, you might have known what it is. It is. His guess was correct. You're 1 for 6, which is pretty good. As Google Google's 25th birthday. Now, it wasn't like Google was born and they were like, hey, this is the day. It was kind of retroactive, but it counted. If you go on Google today, there's a big 25, and it's the 25th anniversary of Google's founding on this date, September 27th, 1998. I would say it's pretty consequential. Not able to keep it in play. A little slip by Monroe. And play stops for a moment. Will be a throw-in for the Lions. Salinas the target. Monroe in pursuit. Roll flicks it to Salinas. Trying to get it to fall. Cut off by Fila.
Jesus, I like the ball, but can we make the next connection with
And
Jason?
here come the subs. We're really excited to go in was Joshua Nkosi. He forgot to take off his penny, but subbing in Peter Jacob, the senior from Salt Lake City. He was one of the players that head coach Sean Hollowell from Rose-Hulman, he said he's really excited to see him get in. Jacob doesn't get to play much, but he stresses he's a good player. It's just through different things, and he's always energetic, a great team player, and that role just wide of goal. And he said when Jacob's not in the game, he's always supporting his teammates. He puts his team first, and so those are the type of players you like to see get opportunities. Fourth game of the year for Jacob, 19th of his career. The senior from Salt Lake City, Utah. Number 17 in red. Get an opportunity here late in a dominant performance by Rose-Hulman. 5-0 to score. Eldridge. Chased down by Fila. Tackle by Rolf. It'll be a throw-in for Rose-Hulman. Inside 13 to play. Oh, that crossed him up. Sometimes that happens. Monroe. Brought down from behind by Matthew Cleary, and there's the first yellow of the match. Comes up late. As a very late tag by Cleary. Tackle by Cleary. Very almost risky play. Kruer. So three-man wall. Kruer looks to work it around it. Goes over the wall towards goal, and Sparks, the freshman from Greendale, Indiana, comes up firing. Budke. There's up for Rose-Hulman. D'Arienzo out. Wittich. Inside a dozen minutes left, and the rain has mostly left us too. This has been a very stereotypical Indiana weather day. Started out rainy before the match. Perfect. Rain. Right. A little bit of everything. I mean, other than not raining and dry. If it wasn't sleeting or anything like that. Many men tumble, and it will be foul called on Elijah Harderson. He disagreed, but play on. Sanders puts it back in play. 11 minutes to go. With the win, it would continue Rose-Hulman's dominance in this rivalry. 19-1 in the 20 years, 20 matchups. Will also continue Rose-Hulman's undefeated streak in conference. They're now 31-0-2 since 2019, since October 2019. That'll be a great start for the Fighting Engineers as they look to win a second consecutive HCAC title. Artisan. Free kick for Rose-Hulman, 10 minutes to go. You know, it's been a tough beginning of the year. Mount St. Joseph falling to 1-8 after the match today, but pass outside by Monroe. Is trying to set up another cross. This play has been working really well for Rose-Hulman. Most of the things they've tried offensively has worked great. Fila sets himself back up. There's Hall. Hall had a couple of looks at goal. Wasn't able to put him down late in the first half. Looked around. Perry. Wittich. Perry. Served up, trying to get it to Eldridge. Timed up great. Eldridge, one move. Bang! Six.
18. Moving to left midfield.
Here's a replay of that. Just set up
Goal
well.
by number 8, Tyler Eldridge.
Stayed onside, and this goalie's in a tough spot. That's 3 goals for Eldridge against Rose-Hulman, or against Mount St. Joseph in back-to-back years. You add them up. He scored twice against Mount St. Joseph a year ago, and then here in the 81st minute. So the 6 goals, 12th minute by Connor Patton, 13th by Chase Kanzier, 36th by Matthew Schwartz, 39th by Gabe Kruer, 68th by Jacob Pohl, 81st by Tyler Eldridge. And something you'll notice, a connecting thread, 6 goals by 6 different Fighting Engineers. Offense by committee, and it's been a pretty flawless one tonight. Sanders trying to hang tough, but it's Eldridge who comes away with the ball for Rose-Hulman. Played outside by Nick Appleton, newly into the game. Working from the wing. Here's Hall. Served up. Not able to head it down. It's cleaned out by Cleary. Brought down by Nicosi. Right now it's a 1-on-3. Help's coming for Nicosi though. He's kind of lost the ball down into the corner.
Look him in. Jason, look him in. Derek coming to you.
Just under 8 minutes to go. Appleton plays it towards the middle to Hall. From the outside, Kruer. The cross in, Eldridge. Not able to connect on it. But it rolls right back out to a Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineer. Vila. Monroe. Behind Eldridge, it rolls harmlessly. Everyone kind of froze it up by the ball. With over 7 minutes remaining. Cleary. Perry. Like a tugboat, just saw it safely beyond the line. Inside 7 to play. Battle for the header, won by Rolf. Sanchez Romero. Sanders. Rolfs. 6-0 game with 6:30 remaining. Down the sideline, Cleary trying to track it down, but just doinked out by Perry. Another throw in for Mount St. Joseph as the sub train will roll into another station. Ashton Benner subbing in now, freshman from Trenton, Ohio, making his third appearance of the season. Andrew Cameron comes in for pole, and he had a wonderful match, including the goal. Penner trying to battle for it. Here's Eldridge. Lays it out wide, 5.5 to go. And what has been a dominant performance by Rose-Hulman. Looking at those stats. The shot advantage for Rose-Hulman almost doesn't seem real. 33 to 1. The Rose-Hulman shot advantage today. On goal, 18 to 1. Fila. Spin along the baseline, and it'll be a corner kick for Rose-Hulman. They have had now 12 to 2 corner kick advantage. 1 yellow card. 17 fouls between these two teams. 10 by Rose-Hulman. 3 offsides by the Engineers. It's going to roll to the far side. In pursuit is Hall. It just keeps it in play. Rose-Hulman applying the pressure still, and if we mentioned before halftime what you want to see if you're a coach in a blowout scenario on the good side of it, is you want to see your team continue to fight, never let up, and that has been the case by Rose-Hulman today. 4 goals in the first half, 2 in the second. 4 minutes to play. Just a big statement game as HCAC play has begun, and we mentioned other scores around the conference as everyone in action today. Most of the games are final. Rolled in front, trying to get to Monroe. Easy for Sparks. The only other game in action right now is Manchester and Defiance, and they're in the 60th minute, 1-1 game. The other one's all finals. Bluffton upset Transylvania 3-1 today in Ohio. So Transy went on the road and picked up a defeat. Positive results for Hanover, 4-0 over Earlham, and then Franklin getting the win over Anderson. Anderson had such a high-powered offense in the non-conference, but Franklin, who entered that match at 1-5-2, really put up a surprising result, and I think everybody's going to look at this one by Rose-Hulman and kind of gulp a little bit. 6 goals and still 2 minutes to play for Rose-Hulman, which, as the reserves have come on, they have not let up. Eldridge feeds it to Appleton. Appleton giving pursuit. Sanders trying to keep him at bay. But there's a punch tie by Sparks. .90 seconds to play. A corner kick headed a little wide. Punch tie. Stays in a dangerous spot for the Lions. Out to Monroe. He slipped. A little bit of a breakaway for Mount St. Joseph. Controlled now by Hall. 70 seconds left. Vila finds Kruer. Kruer cuts baseline, not able to control it. It'll be a goal kick for Mount St. Joseph.
1 minute remaining.
Here, just a minute left. .40 seconds to go. Back in play, just final 30 seconds. Just a dominant performance. The scoring, 12th minute by Patton, 13th by Kedzer, 36th by Schwartz, 39th by Kruer, 68th by Pohl, 81st by Eldridge. Six different scores.
10,
6-0 the score.
7,
6-0
6, 5,
the final.
4,
Rose-Hulman
2,
wins
1.
their opener. It takes down Mount St. Joseph. Fight Engineers on the road for the next two. Mount St. Joseph will go home. Get some home-cooked chili down the Queen City for the next three. Thanks for joining us, everybody. It's been a delightful evening to have you with us for some RHIT.TV soccer here on a Wednesday night. So on behalf of our crew, thanks for joining in. I'm Jonathan Mathis saying so long. Rose-Hulman wins 6-0 over Mount St. Joseph on a beautiful night in Terre Haute.